Hello again. This is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery. That is a 12 by 16 inch canvas. I put some mead and black paint on my edges because it takes one coat and they're covered. And I don't want to have to worry about it. This is Amsterdam Black and Floetrol, regular Floetrol, and some GAC 800. And I'm going to see if I can spread a sufficient layer so I can then swipe across, but I think I'm going to need more paint than I just gave myself. This is an OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. Definitely the best paint spreading tool I know of. And I'm going to do the simplest thing I can possibly do, trying to show that it's entirely possible to do simple things. But I haven't actually accomplished that yet, so this is my attempt. Just going to bring it up. It looks like I might have guessed right. I just want a little puddle. And to swipe across with my stainless steel spatula. Wipe that off in case I want it again. Always better to wipe off your tools, clean your tools as you go along. Okay, so I've got Pebeo Iridescent Gold, Atelier Rich Gold mixed with Australian Floetrol, Pebeo Iridescent Silver mixed with Australian Floetrol, and Amsterdam White mixed with Floetrol. But I'm kind of thinking that I might want to put some gold in this just because I don't think it can hurt anything. So I'm going to do that. Probably could have done it with silver. And I'm doing the land portion first because I haven't done it that way before and I want to try it. So I'm almost inclined to put a little black in between, but there's not much point. Oh, please don't tell me, don't, oh, whatever it was, it cleared itself. Hopefully this isn't horrible. And I suspect if there's enough cell activator on that side, I might be able to tip this. This is pretty much what I had in mind. Let's try the tipping. Actually, I've got an edge catcher here somewhere, which is just as good to catching paint as it is catching edges. And I could blow that across with a straw too. Let's see if I can blow it across with a straw in the downward position. And what is that thing in there? That's something that must have come out of the straw. Yeah. I use that and see if I've got any. Just use my residuals. Now I could probably run a spatula across if I wanted to, but since there's no color underneath, I'm not sure what the point is. Should I go in from the other direction? That's the question. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll try one of my little toothy tools. That sounds like some fun and a plan that I can embrace. So let's do, this is maybe a larger one than I need. Let me grab a smaller one. not a lot smaller, but it's a little smaller. So a couple dollops of white, some silver, and gold on top. It's kind of the opposite of the last time I did it. Now a lot of times the cell activator sort of dissipates and disappears. I would definitely be doing this again with a less even distribution of cell activator, maybe not all from one side. If I don't remember to put the instruction video in for making the little acetate tools, just ask me. I don't want to do the sky now, but I think I have to wait. That is really very close to what I had in mind. Not bad for my first try at doing the land portion first. And I like it. And if I wanted to add something else tomorrow, I could. Will it drip? It's not dripping very fast. I think it'll be fine the way it is. Alright, I'll be back. And if I wanted to add something else tomorrow, I could. Will it drip? It's not dripping very fast. I think it'll be fine the way it is. Alright, I'll be back. This is the next day, and this is dry. And I like the way it looks. And I don't think I've ever done quite so many stages. I'm going to use some water lily along the horizon. And then I'm contemplating using my dish and putting some paint in that I have saved out, which would be Moody Lilac, Teal, Vivid Intense. Moody Lilac's probably a Prizm pour, primary element. Vivid Intense Teal with gold and diamonds in it, it looks like. And a little Paynes Gray, custom mix. Little Midnight Shadow and some black Iris. And we'll see how that works. Get extra things out of the way. I've also got some Vivid Intense white saved out just in case. Anyway, so because the spatula will carry a blade of paint, and also because I could easily put some mountains in the background on top of this, I don't think it matters that much what happens at the line of demarcation at the horizon, although I am going to try and make it go over the edge. I'm thinking a moon. I'm thinking it's going to be a seascape. Everybody seemed to like that, and that might serve my purposes. Try and save my channel, which reminds me, thank you to all my members for saving me. Without you, I would not be here. Same for people who donate through PayPal. Thank you for saving me. Without you, I would not be here. It's a unified effort. I have a new Facebook page. I think I mention it quite frequently lately. It's Priscilla Batzell -artist, because my old one from before 2007 was deleted because somebody hacked me, and Facebook thought it was me doing something bad, and I have no idea what it was because I never saw it. But I'm gone, and I'm back. So I'm going to take that extra paint right up there. Who knows? Maybe there won't be any mountains. Maybe it'll just be a seascape, and those will be rocks, which is what they look like anyway. They look like rock ledges. This side is almost done. Not sure what to do about that line there. Just blend it in. I can always put clouds over any sky that I'm not super thrilled with. I can put clouds. Wow. Yeah, that was my head. Sorry about that. That was embarrassing. Alright, so do I want some white? I might want a little bit of white. Do Do I want it before or after? Let's try it both ways. This is the Midnight Shadow. This is the Black Iris. These are both Prizm pours. And because it's in a dish, I didn't worry too much about shaking it up. And I have had some distilled water issues come to the surface when I don't shake my paints, but I didn't put it in all of them, just some. That was the Teal with Paynes Gray and some golden diamonds. And this is the Moody Lilac. Put some more of that over here because I think that's going to be my basic modus operandi. Although, you know, I want that I want that water lily in there. It's a because I can moment. I'm going to put that down again. Blow my lump over the edge. Hope the canvas doesn't show. Slap the spatula in there a few times. I was wondering what that white would look like, and now I can see. I think I'm going to use my first spatula full to go right up the edge. Grab some of that Moody Lilac. Got to be careful of lighter colors going down on the canvas because they create a resist where other colors won't stick to them. I am taking my chances, having not done this before. And I should probably not travel over the painting, but nothing is written in stone at this point, so I don't worry too much about it. I think I am going to spread the paint around the edges. Try to keep my fingernail out of the bottom. Which I did not do. Which might have given me the opportunity to spread a little color in my purple and make some drama happen. Which never really hurts anything. I'm sort of taking my time getting this to the point where I'm going to be comfortable moving the spatula all the way across. And I'd kind of like to just ombre effect, meld it with that purple, which is water lily, I think I mentioned. I really don't like when the canvas shows up in the edge, and I do say you may have to be somebody who uses a frame when you're doing landscapes. For whatever reason, I can never seem to get the edges completely covered. Alright, I'm going to use some more of that paint on my edges, and probably across the top too. Seems like there might be enough. I might need the odd fingerful. Might as well. I'm going to mix that Moody Lilac. I had a big puddle of it left. And I want enough paint on the canvas so I don't see canvas showing through when I swipe across. I'm going to move my canvas right across the edge of my turntable. It's a 16 by 16 inch tile on top of my turntable with a silicone mat on top of that, if you ever wondered. And if I want, after I put some more of this mixture of colors in, I'll sprinkle a little bit more water lily on top of that if I feel like it, and I might. Chances are definitely decent that I might. like to get it all down and attempt to cover that canvasy edge that is always dogging me. I'm sure I'm not the only one. And if I could use Floetrol in my paint, if you're not using Prizm pours, if you're not using Colourarte products, you can use Floetrol and it will level your paint. Especially if you have GAC 800 in there, which I use religiously to keep my work from crazing when the paint is left heavy. Alright, that's some pretty paint right there. And I'm not applying it in a very pretty fashion, but it's going down. I'm of the impression that the weirder skies are, the more natural they look. I'm going to take all the rest of this paint out of this dish before it starts to set up. It's getting cold in the house, so paint seems to stay moist longer with a cold air. Doesn't dry as fast. I'm going to have to look and see what I might want to do. I also see something right now that needs to be removed. If I'd put a little more water lily down, I could use that area as a zone to add something up above. What do I have? I have Plum Blossom and I'd kind of like to use it. It's a primary element. It'd help if I opened the top all the way. And if that doesn't help, then I take the covering off. Now I only put a couple of lines of this down because it's usually thick enough so that I can do something with my spatula and motivate it around some. If I had a little more of it, I might be more interested in spreading more of it around. But I'm right to the point where I'm expecting my pouring medium in the mail and it's not showing up. What is that thing? I don't know. Sort of lost the whole purple at the horizon. But I think it's not a bad idea to mute that a little bit. Definitely in the places where I can get rid of canvas texture. This is more water lily. Because I really like water lily. Got to be careful of how you put your spatula down, obviously. I still think it looks like a sky I could put an early evening moon in, and there's nothing to keep me from putting more clouds in. And I'm sorry to take up so much time. I'm just sort of enjoying the process. And I think that's good for now, with the exception of what I'm seeing, which is canvas in a couple of places. Which might require a clean spatula, and fortunately I have one, and it's a little smaller, which is somewhat more maneuverable. There are two sizes. They're on the Amazon link. They're worth every penny. They're like $10, but I've had the ones I've got, and people have given me a couple. I've been using them for over 5 years. Yeah, pretty sky, pretty colors. Do I have anything on here I want to use up? Not really. Might be time to throw that in the bucket. I don't actually mind it when it's a little thick, as long as I know I have GAC 800 in my mix and it won't become a problem. Alright, I like that. That'll work for me for now. And I'll see you guys in a minute for the next stage, whatever it happens to be. It won't be the moon, but it might be the water. Hello, I'm back. This is dry, and I am torn between adding some paler colors to the sky to mute the beautiful water lily down a little, or adding something to the area that I want to put the ocean in. And I think I'm going to risk it. I'm not sure. I kind of think that this looks a little bit like a river in here, but it's not going to make any difference. I'm going to start with some frosted and some royal sapphire. And a little bit of Fandango. And I'll list the colors under the video. This is Seaglass. And Sparkling Aqua, although I really actually prefer the Mystique, which wasn't part of the plan. And I want a little bit of lighter color in there. I actually want a little purple. So here's the Periwinkle-VIFluorescent Fluorescent. And we'll see what we get. I'm going to use the Amsterdam White Cell Activator. A little shake. Now I wasn't sure about this, but I have so little paint out there and I can add more areas. I'm going to use one of my little acetate tools and try and take a chance. I've got a palette knife standing by if I change my mind. Right here. And other various tools. I want enough to create a seafoam look. That might be more than I need. Let's let it run down. So I'm going to grab a straw, manipulate some of that. And add a little more royal sapphire, some Fandango, and a little Peacock this time, and maybe, I was going to try the Poseidon, but I think I'm going to go with the Midnight Shadow. And this time I am going to try the palette knife. Without any cell activator. Well, I say that, but I'm going to add a little cell activator just because it's white. And blow it around a little also. Maybe just a little more. Come on, out you come. Now, I definitely could have run that cell activator all the way down, but I think I would prefer what I've got. So I'm just going to add more colors to the bottom. And maybe use a larger palette knife. That's the frosted. That's the royal sapphire again. This is the Seaglass. And I'm figuring I'm going to manipulate this afterwards. Here's some SeaMonster. And I'll put the colors underneath, whether they're primary elements or prism pours or vivid intense. I want to use, I'm going to use a little bit of the Midnight Shadow across the bottom. And I definitely don't want to skip the Fandango, so. Oh, I almost forgot the Periwinkle. I used it in one place, I might as well use it in another. I have a little palette knife that should do something, and I want it on the left-hand edge. I might just be adding a little bit more cell activator. And blowing it out with a straw some more. I want to bring all of this down, right down here. Make it into one wave. Still a little more paint. Stick it in the gaps. Kind of want a little bit more in this corner. And that drip was perfect. And I have some paint right on my palette knife, which turned out to be the perfect extra. And I'm going to have to reproduce those colors and put them over the edges across the bottom. But I'm liking my wave. I'm thinking I might want to stylize a few spirals, but I'm not sure that that can actually happen. Yeah, I can. And dot a few water foamy droplets. A few little spirals never hurt anything, I always say. At least not in my work. Thought I'd try and lead some lines down in, but I don't want to scrape down to canvas. There, I don't mind that a bit. Now I'm going to have to decide to put something in the sky. My tools in the bucket first. I thought I'd use some silver cell activator and I completely forgot about it, and I like what I've got so much I don't care. So, do I put a gold moon in the sky? What color moon do I put in the sky? That's the question. Could be pink. I've got pixie dust, that could be the color. I like this color. It's a primary element, I believe. Where's it going to go? That's the question. And no matter how large your lump of paint is, it's probably going to be expanding. So I'm going to grab a skewer. And this will allow for moonlight to be reflecting off the rocks too. Pixie dust colored moonlight. I've got a couple bubbles in there I'm going to have to blow out. So I'm just circling around, sort of leading the paint out. Pop you. I'm really tempted to use some of that. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. And now that I've got just a little bit left over on my skewer, seems like the perfect place to steal some more paint. I'm not sure it's going to come out anything but shimmery. I don't really think it's going to look like a highlight. But I think if I use some silver, probably can do that. It's especially good to put it along this black edge because I never did put any mountains or anything in there. And it is supposed to be rock ledge. And even if it starts to get a little tacky, it's still going to look like craters on the moon. Little drag marks just look like highlights. That could be pretty simple. I'm liking that. What am I thinking? I'm thinking the small spatula would be really handy right about now if I have it handy. And I do. And I'm going to put some plum blossom and some Love You Pink and some periwinkle. Periwinkle first. Try not to drop anything anywhere. I took that Love You Pink out. There it is. Good girl. You didn't hide it on yourself. There's the Love You Pink. And I said plum blossom, which is right here someplace. Yeah. I even left it open and it's convenient. Now I'm thinking these are going to be mostly sheer, but you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use a little bit of the Moody Lilac as well. Helps if the top's not in the way when you're trying to pour, so you can actually see what you're doing without putting a big chip in there. I see I have a bubble in my moon that I want to go away now. I should say, or something. It's a good moon. Alright, so I'm going to turn that sideways. I'm thinking maybe a little white. Okay, I'm going to add a little white because I've learned my lesson. And if you don't add a little white, all these sheer colors stay perfectly sheer. and they don't show up very well the next day when they're dry. So Moody Lilac and a little white, a little lovely pink, a little bit of everything. We'll just start. I'm going to want to match my cloud match tomorrow and put some shading across the moon. I really can't do that without messing things up right now. Little plum blossom. I'm just going for it. I really just want to lift this up, scrape off my spatula. Actually, I'm going to use my finger. Drag a cloud over the edge. We'll put one right there too. Right there. That white mixed with the lovely pink was pretty strong. So I'm going to go back and get a little more plum blossom. And I've got a balloon handy in case I want to try it. Maybe I do. Needs to be a substantial amount of paint, it looks like. I'm just going to dip that right in there. Go right over that edge. It makes it really easy to cover the edges. With a little tiny, it's a fingertip from a glove. Yeah, need to get my head out of the way, I know. So I expect to put it, I'm going to have to find out what that is. Because it's not a bubble. But that is. And hopefully that paint is thick enough. I like the contrast between the water lily at the bottom, but the white is leaving a lot of marks on the canvas and from the fingertip. But there aren't as many rules about clouds as I had once thought. Because no matter what you do, it seems like it looks like some freaky weird cloud that surprises any of us. Lovely pink and plum blossom. Alright, I'm going to give myself one more minute. And then I'll have to go and reset or come back tomorrow and put a cloud over the moon and show you the dry piece other than that part. When that timer goes off, we are done for the day. With the exception of a possible photograph. I like the idea of the moonlight lighting up the clouds too. So having them be light is kind of fun. Although I probably should have put some more of that pixie dust down in there. There's no taking away the white, I don't think. Bring some more. Yeah, the Moody Lilac works. Okay. I'll see you guys in a few seconds. That's going to go off again. I'm sorry, I'm not done. Let's grab the plum blossom. Put it right down at the bottom. And that seems to work nicely. over the water lily. So I should tell you a few things, like I have 32 playlists of videos with 100 on them each. And if you ever want one, just ask. I have them all saved by topic and genre as well as by the 100. So if you have something specific in mind. Hello. This is the next morning and this is dry. And I decided that there was way too much white in those clouds, so I put a little bit of black iris down here to try it out. I had a wet paper towel standing by just in case you need to know, but I'm thinking, minus the cat hair, adding some darkness to the bottom of those clouds will probably give them a lot more definition. And I think the black iris is sheer enough so everything will show through. Still got a cat hair. Or a sweater fuzz. Anyway, I like that, so I'm going to put a little bit of that in my dish. And when it comes to the moon, I'm probably going to add a little bit of plum blossom and or some of that Moody lilac. But the clouds are definitely too white for me. And I kind of like discovering new ways of doing things that I like. So it's not going to bother me at all to do that. Yeah, there's a couple finger painted areas going in there. Let's try it across the moon in a second. Just because I can. And I think putting it at the bottom of pretty much everything is the answer for me. I already like it better. A lot better. So there's definitely an art form in figuring out how much white to put at the base of your sheer colors. I wonder if I can do that upside down. Better, because that way I get a hard edge from the spatula across the bottom of the cloud. And this looks more realistic to me, for sure. Although it looks like I could use a little bit more. And since my wet paper towel is handy standing by, that was probably way too much. But it's not going to hurt anything, because I see right through it. So let's put that little bit of plum blossom I'm threatening down. And it won't be much. And maybe some of this Moody lilac also. Excuse my head if it was in the way. So just a little bit of the Moody lilac first. And that's going to be very much like an interference. So no matter where I put that in, that's not going to be anything but beneficial in my opinion. Even if it goes above the clouds. Kind of, yeah, I like it. kind of wondered if I should be using some of the black iris too. Just because sort of dab them back and forth until I feel like I've got a decent mix. There, I don't mind that. I'm pretty sure this will dry better than it did. And I want to remind you guys I have 32 playlists of 100 videos. When you like my videos and you share my videos, and especially if you watch them, wow, that does not belong. When you watch them longer, it's a huge help to my channel's survival. Also, memberships. I really appreciate everybody who's become a member. And if you want to help support the studio in purchasing art supplies to keep tutorials coming, then please, by all means, it's $9.99 a month. And you get access to over 200 videos. I forgot my phone, so I can't shimmer the sky at you. But I'm pretty happy with what it looks like right now. And I'm pretty sure it'll dry with less depth of color. So what did I not tell you? Please give me a thumbs up when you like my artwork. When you comment and you like my artwork, you give me a morale boost. I really appreciate. My email address is easpbgallery and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. My Amazon link is on the link tree along with a couple of my websites and Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and my new Facebook is Priscilla Batzell /artist. And I give lessons at the house in Springfield, Florida, and I do sell my artwork. And I love you guys always. You inspire me consistently. So I hope you come again. I post again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I sell my artwork and I give lessons at the house in Springfield, Florida. So if you have inquiries, please make them. My spring clothing or my spring whatever it is below the video is the same as Legalist and Society 6 in that you can have everything I create for a tutorial, and probably other things too, are all available as reproductions or printed on the merchandise that they sell there. Alright, you guys, take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Priscilla out. I love you always. See you anon.